Recent missile exchanges have plunged the Middle East into a state of high alert. Iran is actively preparing for potential retaliation. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has ordered the Iranian military to develop a range of response plans. These plans are designed to match the scale of any future Israeli attacks. Iran has publicly stated that attacks on critical infrastructure or high-ranking officials will be met with severe consequences. A barrage of ballistic missiles is one possible response. Iran could also intensify proxy attacks through its allied groups in the region. Disrupting global energy supplies is another tool at Iran's disposal. Iran walks a fine line. It wants to deter further Israeli aggression. However, it also hopes to avoid an all-out war. The recent assassinations of Hamas and Hezbollah leaders have only increased tensions. Both groups are backed by Iran. The situation is incredibly volatile. Miscalculations are possible. The international community is watching closely. Iran's response to any Israeli action will be crucial. It will set the tone for the future of this conflict. Iran's National Air Defense Headquarters has announced the successful interception of attacks on military sites in Tehran, Khuzestan, and Elam provinces in the early hours of Saturday. While acknowledging limited damage to certain locations, the headquarters asserted that the attacks were successfully repelled. The full extent of the damage is currently under investigation. The announcement comes after Israel revealed early Saturday morning that it was carrying out strikes against Iranian military sites, despite footage capturing the interception of unidentified projectiles in Iranian skies. No evidence of significant damage or casualties has been reported on the ground. Iran has dismissed Israel's claims, stating that the strike was a complete failure, and accusing Israel of lying to the media and its own people. Israel has taken a significant step by launching direct strikes against targets within Iran. This is a departure from previous engagements. In the past, Israel primarily targeted Iranian assets in neighboring countries. The Israeli military confirmed the operation. They stated that it was in retaliation for an earlier Iranian ballistic missile attack. Israel claims its strikes were precise. They targeted military sites and aimed to minimize civilian casualties. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the nation. He stressed the seriousness of the situation. The Israeli military has also issued a warning. They are ready to take further action if Iran retaliates. This stance signals Israel's determination. They want to curb what they see as a growing threat from Iran and its proxies. The international community is worried. Many fear these strikes could ignite a larger regional conflict. Despite the dramatic and intense efforts, the strike resulted in no damage. Israel's claims of success are false. The United States, a steadfast ally of Israel, has reaffirmed its commitment to Israeli security. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin confirmed an enhanced U.S. military presence in the region. This is intended to deter further Iranian aggression. However, the U.S. was not directly involved in the Israeli operation. The Biden administration is walking a tightrope. They want to support Israel but avoid a direct conflict with Iran. The strikes have sent shockwaves through the Middle East. The region is on edge. Everyone is watching Iran's response. It could determine whether the situation escalates further. Adding to the complexity are regional actors like Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza. Both groups have ties to Iran. The international community is urging restraint. Dialogue and de-escalation are crucial. The stakes are incredibly high. Further escalation could have catastrophic consequences for the region and the world. The US and regional allies are skeptical of Israel's claims. There is no evidence of damage in Iran. Section 4 Pyrrhic Victory, Assessing the Impact of Israeli Strikes. Israel claims its strikes on Iranian military sites were a success. However, the supposed victory appears hollow. Israel's narrative is being questioned. Iran claims to have intercepted most of the incoming missiles. An accurate assessment of the actual damage is difficult to obtain. The strategic implications are complex. The strikes might have limited short-term disruption on Iran's military activities. However, they could also provoke a stronger response from Tehran. Iran might accelerate its nuclear program or embolden its proxies to attack Israel. The strikes could also hinder diplomatic efforts to address the root causes of the conflict. The international community's reaction is divided. The stance of key players like the United States and European nations will be critical. Their response will shape the long-term consequences of Israel's actions. Section 5 Teetering on the Brink, the potential for uncontrolled escalation. The specter of escalation hangs heavy over the Middle East. Both sides seem ready to respond forcefully to any perceived aggression. A tit-for-tat cycle of violence is a real danger. Iran's use of proxies like Hezbollah and Hamas adds another layer of unpredictability. Direct communication between Israel and Iran is virtually non-existent. This increases the risk of miscalculation. Without understanding each other's intentions, even minor incidents could spiral out of control. The international community faces a daunting task. Diplomatic efforts must prioritize restraint. Dialogue and addressing underlying grievances are essential. Failure to de-escalate could have devastating consequences for the region and the world. The situation is precarious. The false claims by Israel could lead to uncontrolled escalation. The truth about the failed strike must be acknowledged. The coming days and weeks will be critical.